Please forgive. Too many mind.
Too many mind?
Mind the soul. Mind the people want. Mind the enemy. Too many mind. Please forgive. Too many mind.
Too many mind?
Mind the soul. Mind the people want. Mind the enemy. Too many mind. Please forgive. Too many mind.
Too many mind?
Mind the soul. Mind the people want. Mind the enemy. Too many mind.
What's good, YouTube? What's good, big dog? Y'all hear me? Give me a thumbs up in the chat. Y'all can hear me. Yeah. This is my setup at my new crib, so I'm trying to make sure everything is good to go. I see. Shout out to White Chocolate in the building. Shout out to Bottom Boys. What's good, big dog? Shout out to Daryl Smith. Salute, homie. Salute. Go ahead and check out that hardware, fam. You got it. And it is that time. It is that time. So without further ado, let's go ahead and kick this off. If you're here right now and you're listening, just know that that first portion we just had, I was outside just doing some work with Saki. It's about 105 degrees outside, so he was checking out on me. But we're going to go ahead and get this thing started. And today's episode, we're going to talk about the formula. Now, for those of y'all who are just getting into the game or have never done this before, the formula is something that is big. It's something that you got to work on because everybody wants to know what is it that makes one kennel more successful than another. And if that's what you're interested in, then tonight's episode is going to be all about how to make your kennel stand out and what the formula is. Without further ado, let's kick this thing off with an intro.
Please forgive. Too many mind.
Too many mind?
Mind the soul. Mind the people.
Let him go, Andre.
Mind the enemy. Too many mind.
Hey y'all. So first thing I want to do is I want to give shout outs to Mom Dukes and my sister. They have been constant supporters, and I just want to say thank you to them for everything they do. Then I want to give shout outs to everybody in the chat, along with my kids who also be in the chat, and they just learning how dog men really communicate. So be yourself and let them know how we really get down because we are the best people. Additionally, the topics we're gonna cover tonight are be very simple. The topic's gonna be how you decide what activity to get into with your dog and how to get into that arena. Then we're going to talk about knowing your limits and how to upgrade with honor. Next, we'll talk about how to have a tough conversation with a friend or a kennel partner about making decisions they may not necessarily agree with, and why and how this applies to the digital dog show. So we're going to get in, we're going to attack the subjects, and we'll get up out of here. The first subject I want to cover is how do we decide what activity works for your dog and how to get into that arena. So some of the things that I see a lot lately are people hit me up and they go, man, like, you know, you're doing great with your show, you're doing great with this, you're doing great with that. But a lot of them don't realize that the sacrifices that have to be made to find that vector to get into the different arenas that I'm trying to get into. The dog training, the protection work, the hog hunting, just general hunting. It's very difficult to get into those arenas. And we're gonna broach that subject a little bit, and I'm gonna give you some of the do's and don'ts and some of the things I failed at getting into those arenas. All right. Next, we're gonna get into basically dealing with kennel partners and some of the naysayers, and then we're gonna wrap this up with the digital dog show and how all this applies to getting you that money from the digital dog show. I also got some more people in the chat. Shout out to Supreme Excellence, Bottom Boy Kennels, man. Hey, big shouts out to you, bro. Hey, and then Daryl Smith, my wife just sent me a message and told me y'all couldn't hear me. Can y'all hear me now? Thumbs up in the chat if y'all can hear me now. Party Boy Woods, what's good? What's up? All right, y'all. So the first thing is, the first subject we're gonna cover is getting into the activities with your dog, man. Because all of y'all, man, I see every single channel, from new to old, getting out there and getting active with their dogs, man. I see everybody flirt poling, everybody slap milling, everybody is spring poling. But we're not really making it competitive. All right. Now the slap mill races, I've seen those. They got those at the shows, and eventually we want to incorporate it to the digital dog show. So if you can't get to a physical dog show, that ability to compete is still available to you. All right. So that's one. You got to find your lane. But if you're APDR or ADBA, those two registries I know for a fact host different events that you can get active and get involved in. All right. So that's the first step. Is finding you a registry or a kennel group that gets together. Another thing you can do is you can find other dogmen in your area that you kind of meet through the chats or somebody, you know, kind of put you on, and y'all can start practicing locally. I would say the formula, which is the name of this episode, that's exactly what it was. The formula for the old school days was it's kind of word of mouth. You know, you couldn't even get to some of the shows if nobody knew who you were. And that doesn't happen by staying in your backyard and being an internet dog man. That happens by getting out and getting active with other dog men. And there's gonna be a lot of people mistrusting. There's a lot of people who you just can't deal with on that level, and I understand it. But you'll never make it out of the backyard if you don't leave the backyard. Two, when you find somebody to get out of the backyard, only allow them into the portion of your life that you can afford to lose. So what that means is if you're gonna bring them to your house, make sure that you trust or you have enough information on them that they're not gonna usurp you, try to steal your dogs, all that good stuff. So typically what I do is before you visit me, I'm visiting you. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that you got something to lose as well. Because typically people with stuff to lose ain't gonna try you like that. It's the guys with nothing to lose and everything to gain that's gonna try you. So that's the first thing, man. Make sure you got a zip tight, no slack setup for handling what you need to handle. All right. Yes, sir. And then once you have that set up, you got to move into making sure that everybody around you is moving with precision. Okay. So the subjects or the things that I personally have done is I have done varmint hunts with my dogs, and I actually got videos back in the past of Saki taking out a possum. I don't have the raccoon hunt or the squirrel hunts, but he definitely treated a squirrel, and I was able to shoot that. And these are things that you can broach and get into. Now, how does that apply to the digital dog show? For those hunts, if you can show proof of that in the dog show, I love that. Like I love seeing that, and by you letting the public see that, they're going to see that your dogs are out here working. So that's one thing you can do to add quality to your dogs is showing them actually doing work that's legal work. All right, just make sure you're in season whenever you're killing with your dogs. All right. Two, we want to make sure that you're sharing it to the right groups. There are groups on Facebook that say they're for pit bulls, but they're really for fur mommy groups. And then there's groups that are really for bulldogging, and those guys don't really care about it either. You got to find an happy medium in between. Because the bulldogging, the fast lane don't care about that. They care about real bulldogs. And you have to be able to delineate between if you're going to be a real bulldogger, an internet bulldogger, or a fur mommy. And there's a big difference between you can't be on a public site with dogs with tattoos all over. It doesn't work that way. All right. But what you can do is you can go out here and do these positive things, these digital dog shows and things, and still make a name for yourself. And I'm proof of that. I'm not famous by any means, but I'm making waves, and the larger channels are taking notice because I'm being very consistent. And that's also part of the formula is to be consistent with whatever you do. If your dog don't do anything but spin in circles when you take them outside, then that's a consistent trait. Mind you, I don't really know what I'm going to do with a dog like that, but knowing what your dogs do and what they bring to the game is essential to having something or some kind of staple in your name. All right. So Nick 901, welcome to the chat. Hernan Maximiliano, salute. Eli Monster, salute. What's good, y'all? What's good? Hey, y'all. So far, I've been just chopping it up and flapping my gums about some basic stuff. I'm gonna get y'all caught up with the interim summary. The first subject I'm covering is basically how to decide what activity works for your dog and how to get into that arena. We're kind of talking about the above ground or the attic stuff first. Now we'll talk about, historically speaking, the underground. Now, for the underground is going to work as such. The underground would typically get in and they would look at a dog and say, hey, this dog's bred really good. I want to look at it. Or they would have a purpose for every dog that came to the yard. Even dogs that were gifted would have a purpose. So it's essential that you understand have a purpose for every dog on your yard. Like my dog Saki, Saki's purpose for me is I wanted a protection dog. All right. Then I bred him back to his mother to lock in those qualities. And then I bred him, and then the puppy I got off of that, I wanted to see if they could do scent work. Because what I'm trying to do is get dogs that can do shut scent work, which is bite, scent, obedience. So for me, I'm trying to lock in my own bloodline with the qualities of the bloodline that I like the best. That's my personal purpose, what I'm doing with my dogs. Now, for some of y'all out there, that might be the wall climb. And Dre don't do the wall climb. So I can't give you advice on the wall climb. But I bet you there's somebody in the chat that can. Or if you want to hear historical stories, get with somebody in the chat who actually boxed a lot. Because Dre didn't box a lot. You know what I'm saying? Dre saw a lot of roles at an early age, but Dre didn't box a lot. And I really just want to put that out there because it's essential that everybody in the chat has a purpose. So tonight, before you leave this chat, you know what I'm saying, think about what that purpose is and make sure that you're vectored in the right direction. Because what I see a lot of dog men doing nowadays is Y'all get online and see other people doing great things, and you go, man, like I want to do this and I want to do that, and your focus is too many places, and you're not making any progress because there's motion and there's progress. You know what I'm saying? You can sprint on a treadmill, but I guarantee you'll still be in the same building when you get done sprinting. Or you can get on that road and you can move forward to the next town or the next venue. All right. So that's extremely important when picking these activities. My favorite ones are hunting, fishing, and I do activities with my dogs that allow me to do the things I like the best in life. So yeah, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to cover on that subject right there. Again, big shout out to everybody who just got in the chat, everybody who came through. I color, I can't even pronounce that, but salute and welcome to the chat, bro. I appreciate you. I really do appreciate you, bro. So yeah, so we rocking out with the next subject. Those of y'all who just joined or those of y'all who are listening, first subject we covered was just how to get into activities with your dogs, man. And it's a very simple formula. Meet somebody who says they do what you're trying to get into. Ask that person questions, but also do some research on it for yourself. I typically Google it, then I YouTube videos of people trying to do it, and then I see the things I like versus things I don't like before I get into it. Tony M. Salute, welcome to the chat. Once I find a mentor or somebody who I trust to at least get me started, then I start working on finding the equipment or the areas for the activities I like. A lot of my activities are backyard activities because I live in a city, and I've always lived in like a kind of like a cityscapes with the exception of where I grew up at. And with that happening, I had to find things that work for me. But if you live in the country, man, that's a lot more stuff you can get into, man. You can get in hunting right now. You can go in your backyard typically and find some varmints for your dogs to take out. So yeah, that's the big one. That's the big one right there. Now the next topic I wanted to broach is knowing your limits, knowing how to upgrade with honor. And to give this topic, I want to share a story. So when I was coming in the game, man, my first 6 dogs all curd out, and that was fast too. I mean, they curd out in rolls, you know. And this is, like I said, I don't do this anymore, and you can't prove it because I never, it's nowhere on anybody's books. But the first 6 dogs I had, they curd out fast, man. And I was watching Going Hard Kennels the other night, man, and they gave me a clue that those dogs probably weren't as bad as I thought they were. It was me. It was 100% me. And I wanted to share that with y'all because this is how you like gracefully bow out with honor and you learn from it. So the first mistake I made was I listened to other dog men about how to find the limits for my dogs. And every dog is different. Every dog has different limits. You know what your dog is exposed to for the most part, specifically when you breed them. And that was a mistake I made. So the first one, and I got stories, and that story is already on my channel further back. And for those of y'all who are new to the channel, I'll share it with you. First dog's name was Misha. I got her, and my partner got her sister from the same litter. And he had an older brother that knew what bulldogging was familiar with bulldogging, and I didn't. So they sat on theirs like they were supposed to, and they played rough with her. And I thought I was doing the same thing, but I wouldn't stop because I wanted to be better than them. And I thought that me applying more pressure to the dog was gonna make that dog better than her sister. So that was my first mistake. So I would pitch her up, and I would try to get her to roll with any little puppies in the area. And what ended up happening with that was the dog got I guess stale, you would call it. She got to the point where she didn't want to be around other dogs anymore because it was so constant, it was so consistent. And I mean, this is between the ages of 6 months and a year old. It was just consistent, just trying to get some, trying to prove a point. All right, I was rolling for my ego, not for the benefit of the school or the animal whatsoever, or even know what I was doing because they were too young. And so the sister's name was Brandy, and Brandy hit a 1.5 year old, and she came out the house rocking. And a lot of the dogs that stopped my stuff, Brandy went and stopped them. And I would say that out of the two, Misha was the better dog, but I ruined her. And that's me, just one of my humble stories. The other story I wanted to show y'all was a dog I got named Shadow. This is a heavy Elot dog, and he was a throwaway. Some partners of mine had him, and they were using him to school, and of course, he curred out real bad and stopped one day during schooling, and he curred out to his brother. His brother's name was 8 Ball, and so I found him. They dropped him in the trash dump, and I got the dog and took him home, and I started like just loving him and playing with him and stuff. You know, because back then, you know, a pit is a pit, and like I wasn't into like the whole paperwork and everything yet, but they ended up telling me what the bloodline was, and so they saw me walking him. And one of his ears had been completely taken off in a roll, and so I had the other one done and trimmed off, and so he was his ears were both cropped, and he started like turning on again. You know, like, he started like growling and showing that he wanted to get something with the other dogs and on the yard. And so he ended up starting to grab up a couple of them and showing them. He ended up grabbing them and showing them what he could do. And he actually bit one of my dogs so hard that she hollered. You know what I'm saying? It was a female, so he got some spunk to him. So I was walking him one day, and the guys that put him out, they saw it, and I had changed his name to Sirius Black because I thought it was a cool name, man. And they saw me and they drove by and they pulled up and they was talking junk. Oh, that cur, he peed and pissed on and crapped on himself, and he's the biggest cur. We should have put a bullet in him. I'm like, well, you didn't. And so it's not hard to get me going. Like I try to be cool headed, but that's because I really get spun up really fast, y'all. And so we set something up to go look at him, and we got him, and it was probably like a Friday night. And mind you, I'm in school when I was just going down. We on a Friday night, and we there's an old dirt road next to a cemetery where nobody really messes around down there because I guess in the South everybody's real superstitious. And so we hit that dirt road and we went down there off a piece into the woods, and we popped the collars. And on the first scratch, Shadow, my dog, Sirius Black, went in and got him in the brisket, and he lifted 8 Ball off the ground and was shaking him in the air. I mean, just shaking him like a rag dog. Mind you, this is a dog that it stopped him and made him cur out real bad. But with that reinforcement, Shadow was able to be built back up, and he ended up. We ended up stopping him after the second scratch. You know, we scratched him. They went about 20 minutes. Obviously, the other dog had a turn. We let him go back in, and we stopped scratching after that. A couple days later, 8 Ball was dead, and they said 8 Ball got poisoned, but I really believed it. In that hour that we were looking at him, that Sirius Black had done enough work that it was internal bleeding or in shock that he couldn't bring back from. Dickie Foster, welcome to the building. Salute, big dog Dickie Foster, man. I appreciate you coming in here, y'all, on this Wednesday night. We're just getting acclimated to our new home, so I'm getting my first live popping from in the new home. But yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I appreciate all of y'all. All right, and so far what we've covered, y'all, was activities and what activities to get into with your dog and how to get into those activities. And what we're talking about now is knowing your limits and how to agree with others. And I'll tell y'all this right now. My limit was I never really got into the box like that because one, I wasn't willing to do the time if it got rated. That's the truth. All right. So I love looking at them. I love to roll. I love to see bulldogs be bulldogs, but I wasn't willing to get to the box like that. Also, I didn't make enough money to really have a substantial bet at the time, being so young. So it was all about fun and games for me, you know, gas money and some money to get me some loud pack and, you know, and chill. That was what was fun for me. It was proving the dogs. I didn't care about the box at all. I just want to see if my dog was a bulldog or not. And that's always been my view of it. I think that the box has its place, but there's a lot of great dogs that have never lived inside of the box or ever even had a tooth in them. So I do want to put that out there. And the second part of this second portion of my description was how to bow out. So I basically knew when to shut up. Okay, the boxmen, they were the NBA players. You know, we were the practice team. Eli Monster said every pit bull isn't game. First 10 I seen by regular people were junk, but that is where you learn. It absolutely is. It absolutely is Eli Monster. And that's why I want to talk about the second part of that statement where I said, knowing your limits and how to upgrade with honor. Uh, every person that ever stopped me uh, was was pretty honorable, and so I ended up purchasing a dog from them to see if their dogs were better. And you know what I found out? The dogs were slightly better, but I still got them curled up because I didn't know what I was doing. All right, because raising dogs, no matter for what you get into with them, it requires some humility and to learn. And to learn, you're going to make mistakes. I think one of the biggest ego trips that we all have is you want somebody to tell you everything not to do so you can get it right the first time. And that's essentially impossible unless you live with a person that's just your mentor and you can live with them and kind of be, and they can be there for every waking moment with you and that dog to get it together. Wing, salute, welcome to the chat, bro. But if you don't have that, and you're not a second generation dog man or something like that, man, I don't see us making it like I don't see us making it very far in that regard like that, y'all. So yeah, man, get out there, get in the game and make sure that you're able to enjoy your dogs at the level they can be. Also, hi Keely, salute, welcome to the chat, bro. Also, man, like make sure that your dog is bred for what it is you're trying to do. Mind you, you can take any breed and make a great dog off of it, but some dogs are bred for mouth, some dogs are bred for gameness, and some dogs are bred for battle claws. And if you don't know the difference, I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later in the chat. I'll pull up one of my pedigrees and I'll show y'all exactly what I was trying to accomplish by making this breeding. All right, because like I said in the very beginning, every breeder should have a purpose behind it. Every breeder should have a purpose behind it. All right. And in the upgrading with honor, that's simply not being kennel blind, man. I catch myself being very, very, very set on Mims Red Boy and Chinaman dogs. That's what I like the best out of all the dogs I've owned. And I've heard people say that both of those were trash, but it's what I've seen that works for me. And so that's what I like to stick to on that one. And then the next thing that I want to bring up and broach with y'all is how to have a tough conversation with your kennel partner. Now, as many of y'all who know, I had a kennel partner when I first started off. I was Andre Williams Kennel before I ever became Samurai Kennels. My name wasn't available as a kennel name, so that's where Samurai Kennels came from. And then the idea of the samurai to serve has always been like a passion of mine. A great honorable person with standards and morals and values. The samurai culture was a great culture for me. So I wanted to share that imagery and ideology with the world when I deal with people. And so that was my way of kind of getting that in there. Then I found out about Yasuke and Oda Nobunaga and all that stuff. But what I wanted to talk about was having honor and discipline and self-respect to have a tough conversation with your kennel partners. And I'll tell you a story in regards to that as well. So my first kennel partner was my only actual kennel partner. Now I just have brothers. I don't really do the kennel partner thing anymore. But my first kennel partner, he had a male dog. It was bred pretty good, some heavy black rock stuff and some other stuff in there. I'm not gonna give you the whole mix because it might give away who he is. And we don't have beef, but we just don't deal with each other anymore. And he had a really good bred male that had the look and action that I thought I wanted. And so myself and our little combine, we got a bunch of females together, but his male was going to be the root. So we're going to take his male and breed him to all 6 of our females, and then we're going to take those puppies and make a line off of that dog because he said he was so good. The dog was supposed to be really, really good. And so my partner got in some trouble and had to move the dogs to various yards, and that male ended up getting killed by a Poland dog, a Poland bred dog, and it was a female at that. And so when that male got killed by a female, that kind of set me off a little bit because I had every intention on buying a male of my own and kind of having a backup plan or an out of some pure Red Boy Jocko stuff. And I ended up getting a Red Boy Jocko female because I trusted the system on that one. And instead of buying the Red Boy Jocko male that I wanted to train, which would have put me probably 2 years ahead because I was going to train that dog in a very similar manner to how I trained Saki. I listen to him. Ween, that's a very good point. He said your road dogs matter. Absolutely, it does matter. Also, if you have a combine or you got some connections, some friends that got some other stock, checking each other's stock is very, very important. It's extremely important. And so when you're checking each other out and you're looking each other over, man, you gotta have that honesty. You gotta be willing to have that honest conversation and tell them, I just don't see it, bro. Let them know I just don't see it because just because you feel like your dog is worthy and everything on your yard, you know, when you bring it to the combine, we're looking at all of our prospects. Uh, he's not making the cut. I don't see him hunting very well. Yeah, man, that's a very valid point as well. Oh man, Ned Williams, welcome to the chat. Salute. It means Junior watching. Salute, Junior. I love you, son, and welcome to the chat. It's some real Bulldogs in the chat, son, and I want you to get used to talking to them online because we start going to these events. You're gonna meet some of these real guys. There's some real solid dudes, man. I never met a real Bulldog that wasn't a man, and I don't mean like as far as like gender wise. I mean like or heart, honor, hardcore. Even the ladies in the game, uh, they got more heart than most men that you meet nowadays too. So we are the best people for sure. Um, but yeah, so having those tough conversations, man, tell them it ain't it, or telling them, hey man, those two dogs you're trying to put together, man, I don't see it. They got the blood, but the traits ain't there. Neither one of them are it. I've seen that happen before. You got two dogs and they both act cold. Never been looked at and don't have any qualities, not conformationally sound, not even a pretty dog. So let alone the attitude of American Pit Bull Terrier doesn't even have a look of a Pit Bull Terrier, you know. And they want to put them together just so they can make more dogs to overpopulate the population and push them out trying to make some bread. If you want to make bread, I'll tell you the fast way to make bread real quick too. So we're talking about formulas. This is the formula if you want to make bread. Go find you somebody who salute JT. Welcome to the chat, big bro. Salute. But if you want the secret to get in the game fast, you're gonna need a little bit of money. And what I would do is I would go out and buy two of the best dogs I could find. And when I'm talking about the best dogs I can find, I'm talking about something that already has dubs on it. All right. And the problem with that nowadays is one, you can't trust if the dubs are accurate. Two, they're gonna trust you enough to let you know that what they say it is. All right. We do it all TV. Salute, big bro. Salute. Yes, sir. I gotta get you on here one of these days, one of these lives, bro. And a lot of y'all, man, like I'm gonna put a link in the chat tonight. I guess we're wrapped for a little bit. I'm not gonna stay here too long because I don't have all my chargers and stuff. So my camera only got about another 30 minutes of power. So I gotta make this real fast. Just get in and get out with it. But yeah, man. So it's hey, Elon Monster said it right. But I want to address the Elon Monster. So I did exactly that. I bought a Mims, pure Mims dog, and I bought a Mims dog processed some cruise stuff. And they were fast starters. And once again, your boy got carried away with himself. You know, they didn't clear out at all. They could handle everything I was getting into. They really could. They really could. They could handle it all. They were very durable animals. And that was on me. I got too carried away with them, and I drew attention that I shouldn't have had. Kennel said mentorship is important and listening more than talking when you're trying to learn. That's a hard thing to do, man, because we all listen with the intent to respond, not the intent to understand or comprehend. And there was a live recently, and a lot of y'all brothers in the chat was on that live, and there's a brother who does that a lot, but he's growing from it. And I want to say thank you to the whole community for allowing that brother to grow. Because it's a great chat, and he has a lot to say, but he cuts off some of his other co-hosts a lot, and it detracts from the message getting out of there. So, brother, if you listen, man, no smoke to you, but understand that listening to understand and comprehend is very important because you can lose a very, very good audience, somebody who has something to gain from what you have to say by how you deliver. Yeah, I would say yes, Eli Monster. Another thing you could do is you can go buy two really, really good bred females and then pay the money to get once they turn out how you like them, then pay the money to get them bred to the best male you can find in your area or the best male you can find Like I said, it takes time, and time is money. So if you want that, make it happen, man. I've seen it. It's a formula that's been done by two of the biggest breeders out there, Chico and Mr. Tom Garner. They did that. Both of them weren't necessarily the most famous boxing men, but they got their hands on great dogs and continue to breed them, and then they produce them and put them out to the public. Benny, salute, big dog. Hey, Benny, I want to say I appreciate you for everything you do, man. Hey, and thank you for shopping with us, man. Thank you so much. Wayne says, take 4 years to test and learn. Yeah, so there's a channel, man, and I don't know the name of the channel. I don't want to steer y'all wrong, but he posted a video, man. I really like what that video had to say. In the video that he posted, it was talking about it was like one of those old school books. I think it was maybe a Kobe book, and it was saying that at between 15 and 24 months you can start looking at them, but it shouldn't be anything earlier than that. You will ruin it, or it has a good high chance of ruining it. And then at 3 years is like peak time to take them out for the first time. So I think 4 years is fine, but I think also there's a lot of great dogs that happen before the 4 year mark. Eli said, if I was just starting buying a good pup from Mims and breed to a really good producer, and you have a whole litter to choose from. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then, man, like, find out, watch your dogs, like, watch them grow up, watching them puppies, seeing which puppies, like, okay, I thought that puppy was shy because it was shy of people, but one of my best dogs was a people shy dog, wouldn't bite you, would just run in her doghouse. But man, you bring another dog within that chain link, and I'm telling you, she would put holes in the dog. You could just hear like you ever took a chip bag and smacked it and heard the air, like the air. That's what it sounded like when she put her canines into something. She just punctured the hole so fast, so much force. It's a really powerful thing, and that was also that Mims bred female I was telling you about. There's a picture of her online on one of my thumbnails. She was a dog named Psycho, heavily bred Mims Jigs. Jigs would be her great grandfather. Jigs was also a half brother to a dog named Ritz. And I talk about the Ritz dog all the time because I was taught that Ritz was a 15-timer unrecorded. You know, they didn't put their business out there, but Ritz did work. Wayne put a very valid thing out there. And Wayne, I think nowadays it's really hard to get that kind of time in, even if you wanted to. But it has to be said. He said 4 years of breeding in litters, go through 60 to 70 dogs, experience is what is needed. Absolutely, man. Like, I don't disagree with you at all, man. It's just really, really difficult to do that nowadays. Unless you got land, like if y'all got land, y'all still in the South, or you got family land, or you just got you got it like that. Yeah, like I don't disagree at all, man. Raise your own stock, raise your own litters, and then once you start seeing the traits consistently, then you are ready to go public. Hey, my brother Solo but Connected said, salute to Samurai Kennels in the chat. Tip. Hey, I appreciate you, bro. He coming through with that 5-piece, knocking the door down. Thank you so much, man. Because half of all my donations are going to go to the David E. Coleman Memorial Fund Scholarship, and I'll be giving it back to the community. So when the Digital Dog Show airs in October, we'll announce the winner of the Digital Dog Show, as well as the winner of my brother's scholarship and the Shogun's Choice Award. And that kennel will be sponsored by us for the next 6 months to the next Digital Dog Show, where we'll be sending them, $50 to $100 a month to help out with dog food or whatever ailments they have for their dog, And also that dog will be a lot of the thumbnails we use in our videos. We're gonna promote that dog or that kennel. I love you too, son. Hey, I love you too, son. So Ned, I appreciate you for getting Junior on here. And y'all, I really appreciate everybody in the chat, man. I really do. Because this channel cannot be a success without y'all. The watch time hours, the support, the comments, the information that y'all share, it's all needed. It is all extremely needed. And man, it's much appreciated. Solo but Connected with the super sticker too. Okay, I appreciate you, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Solo big dog in the house. Uh, Also, while I got y'all here, man, if any of y'all got dogs y'all are thinking about entering into the digital dog show, man, go ahead and put a thumbs up in the chat. You don't have to say what dog you're putting in there and everything, but I kind of just want to get a head count and start getting a head count because we're going to open up the floodgates on August 15th for y'all to start submitting submissions. And next week's live, I'm going to be all about the submissions and talk about that. So spread the word because the more competitors we have, the better, and more prestige the dogs that win will have. You know what I'm saying? So definitely appreciate it. All right. Haki Lee said, all right, Haki Lee. Hey, Haki Lee gonna be in there, y'all. You know, and I will never reveal y'all names as far as who submitted what dog until you win. And then once you win, obviously, you know, like the notoriety has to go there because we're trying to put it out there. Solo said he gonna have a big dog in the house. Okay, Solo, that's what I'm talking about, big dog. Yeah, man. Uh Also, man, let y'all families know like the votes matter. So when it airs and the digital dog show is going on, make sure your family's getting in there and voting for you and supporting your cause because the votes are gonna carry a lot of weight. Typically, the majority vote is gonna win unless it's super close, and then the samurai panel will definitely do that. Common sense, what's good, fam? What's good, big dog? Welcome to the chat. Yes, sir. So far, y'all, what we've covered, and let me give y'all this interim summary if you're listening or if you're just joining the chat. First thing we covered was how to decide what activity works for your dog and how to get into that arena. Then we talked about knowing your limits and how to upgrade with honor. Basically, with that one, it was knowing what your dog can and can't do, man. If your dogs just ain't it, they're not fast lane bulldogs, they're not fast lane bulldogs. But continue to call hard eventually of making them the fast lane bulldogs. But also, gracefully bow with honor, man. If you get beat or you lose to somebody else, man, don't be a hater on their bloodline and try to tear them down. Get out there and find out what they do and ask some questions, man. A lot of good dogmen want better competition or they want better culling factories, so they'll help you out, even win, lose, or draw. That's part of the fraternity. All right. Then we put in there about how to have tough conversations with your kennel partner. You know, not about being kennel blind, don't breed nothing whack. You know, that stuff is extremely important. You know, extremely important. And then finally, we're gonna talk about why and how this applies to the digital dog show. Then I'm gonna open up for discussion and I'll put the link in the chat for anybody who wants to jump on here and just parlay and chop it up. So as far as the digital dog show goes, why is this important? Well, it's important for this. For my digital dog show, I want to see the dogs doing all the legal activities that y'all already do anyways. I want to see the best yards. Some of the yards I've seen right now, Arrowhead has a nice yard. Martinez has a great yard. Outlaw Texas Kennel has a great yard. Triple J has a great yard, but I think he got a little bit like he don't have the organization that Martinez has. But man, they got some great yards. There's a $25 award for having the best yard. You go out there and do a little picture, a little spin around of your yard, man, and you got it boom, $25 just for doing what you're gonna do anyways. For having a clean yard, you could win $25 in this competition because the whole purpose of this competition is literally to ensure that people are taking care of their animals. And if you got to compete for money to take care of your animals, man, I think this just gives more incentive for us to be better dog men. Hey, Wayne Moon, he said, salute the samurai, keep scratching. He hit us with a 5-piece. Hey, I appreciate that, dog. Tip, tip. Hey. Yeah, man, we getting in there. But man, I appreciate all of that, man. Because literally, y'all been in the last 2 weeks since I've been monetized, y'all have already paid for literally almost all of the subclasses. Almost all of the subclasses are paid for right now. So y'all are making it easier for me to upgrade the dog show and expand it by just getting in here watching these little commercials they have because I get paid off of that and the super chat, super thanks, and super stickers. That alone is helping me to fund this scholarship. This year it's gonna be $250, but the goal is to get it to $1,000. I want to have $2,000 worth of scholarships to give out each year, and I want to match the ABA with that. But yeah, man, it's extremely important. Extremely important. Wayne Moon, once again, thank you. Thank you for that super chat. Eli Monster. Hey, once again, Eli Monster, man, you know I'll never put your business out there, but I appreciate all the mentorship you give me, bro. Eli Monster said, me and my buddy, who has been in dogs longer than me, was talking. He said you'd rather buy a $10,000 dog or buy 10 puppies for $1,000 off a good litter. We both agreed. So, Eli Monster, what did you said the litter, the puppies? Absolutely. Because the $10,000 dog, may not produce other $10,000 dogs. One of the puppies for sure is going to produce other puppies of equal caliber if they're bred any kind of way is good. Even a scatterbred dog typically going to produce at least one out of litter, uh, and that's good stuff. Oh, Elevated Kennels, what's good, big dog? For those of y'all who don't know Elevated Kennels, we did an interview, and part one of that interview will be coming out tomorrow. It's be a little shorter portion of the interview because Drake been slacking on the editing, so I only got about the first 15 minutes of it edited. But yeah, shout out to Elevated Kennels and the Freemason Bloodline. Also, Elevated said he would be at the Tom Garner pick picking, and that's what it's gonna be. Yes, sir. I'm responding to text messages and everything to y'all. So yeah, we keeping it going. We keeping it going. But yeah, man. And then Wayne said, if we meet in the box, win or lose, let me know how your dog is doing 2 weeks later, and I'll know what you're working with. Hey, that's a fact. Matter of fact, man, I've seen more go home and die from shock for people not knowing how to do aftercare than anything else, man. My brother Big A, welcome to the chat. Big A, salute. Big A, you there? He got in and got out. All right, he'll be back. He will be back. But we're gonna keep this thing rocking. We're gonna keep this thing rocking. He said, I'm trying to go, but probably not going to be able. All right,
Yeah.
that's a fact.
I'm
Hey,
back
Coach
in
C.
here, man. Back in this bad boy like I left my keys and wallet. What's happening?
Oh man, it's all good, man. It's all good, Big A fam.
Yes,
I think
sir.
I think I failed to send the timeline because y'all know my timeline shifted back by 2 hours because JT
Right.
jumped in. He said he was just getting off work, but I moved the live and I'll adjust it to make sure that all our times are because I'm on Cali time.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir. But how you
Yeah.
doing, big dog?
Adjustments being made. Huh?
How you doing?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Same thing I'm always doing, working right now as we talking.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
And for those of y'all who are not tracking or didn't see Sunday's video, Big A has Michonne. That's the Saki clone. This is his thumbnail right there. She's with him, and he is taking over the operations of Samurai Kennels 210 in San Antonio.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. She's a good dog, man. Come from good stock. Come
Oh
from
man,
real good
definitely.
stock.
I'm actually gonna pull up our ped tonight on Asaki and kind of go over what I was doing because the name of the night is called the not the recipe, but the formula. And I was going to talk about the formula behind what I think makes a successful kennel and whatnot. But
Right.
I'm also on limited time right here because my camera gonna die, so I'll go off cam, but I'll still keep rapping with y'all, and we gonna get some people in
Right.
here. All right. Elevated Kennel says we're gonna film the show and so catch behind the scenes stuff on my YouTube, like always. Support my brother Samurai Kennels. Absolutely, absolutely, man. And then going hard said the twins said they would be out there. So make sure y'all get a picture with the twins. They're gonna do a big photo of everybody who's in the Shark Tank where they can get together. So make sure y'all are abreast of that and y'all tracking that. If y'all didn't catch it live last night, for sure, for sure. Elon Monster said he caught a 500-pound marlin tank. Man, I would love to see it. Man, shoot me a text today if you got a picture of it, man. Because if I caught a 500-pound marlin, I would have all kind of pictures of it. And the story would get bigger every time I told a story. It would go from A to B story faster than speed.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah,
man.
so Big A, one of the things that was brought up was the digital dog show, and I wanted to broach as to what kind of activities you would like to see because you're gonna be one of the co-judges, and our points are if it's a tie between two dogs, our points are what make the difference. So what's some of the activities you prefer to see with the dogs, man? And you can mind
Me
go first.
personally, man, I just want to. This is just me personally. I just want to see the dog in its natural nature. I want to see how that naturally strut. You know, to get a full view of its build. Checking the front end and back end out or whatnot. I'm not really big on all the extra activities and stuff. I'm more uh into the actual structure and build of the actual dog. you know. But that's just me personally.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, stay blessed, man. Welcome to the chat. My brother Eli Martin said it sucks. It was an hour and a half fight. I've never caught anything bigger than a catfish, man. It wasn't a very big catfish. My skill set as far as angling ain't that great. But I would like to learn. And then Wayne said, "Can I show from the garage?" Yes, sir. And I'll actually, hey, big A working. I actually will. Next week's live, I'll actually go over some tips and tricks on how to get the best angles for your dog. Because with the digital dog show thing, I can't physically see them, and I'm not telling you to hide flaws, but you want to put your dog forward in the best light. Now, I love the honesty of it, but also you're trying to win money here. All right. So the goal is to have a good dog and to capture its best qualities. So if your dog has a weaker back end, there's certain angles you want to come at from the back end to show it's still a good back end. It's just not as strong as it could be. Eli said structure and build means a lot. Yeah, but genetics help a lot too, because my red boy dogs do not cut up the way my Chinaman dogs cut up. And my Chinaman Frisco dogs, or even the spike dogs, like any of that garner stuff, it naturally, when it leans out for the summertime, it naturally says the veins and striations just popping, just naturally. Whereas my red boy dogs take a little bit of work. They have nice bone structure, denser, thicker legs, but they don't necessarily have the it as far as that cut up. I like that overdone personally. That's the thing for me. My son said big trunks. Yeah, man. Yeah, but the free trunk legs is important to me. I like something. I like to have something underneath them. Also, I did a short on my TikTok, but I didn't do it on YouTube. I'll release it probably tomorrow. Part of it. It's the color chart for the from the ADBA. I highly encourage y'all to look at that because when y'all submit, you typically are going to submit your dog for multiple shows. So if you have a black dog, yes, submit it for best male or best female or best puppy, depending on the age group. But also you want to submit it for best black dog because it costs nothing to jump into multiple shows. So you want to give yourself the best chance of winning multiple shows. Like last time, Gas to Go took 3 shows. One of the shows he took just by being one of only 2 dogs in there. The other 2 shows he actually got voted into winning, right? So it's very important that you get out there and put your best foot forward. Some of the classes, let me go look and see if I got the classes in here or get y'all the classes because it's kind of important that y'all are tracking that. But I know we have best male, best female, best puppy, 0 to 6 months, and then 7 to 12 months as well. What other roles we have? Man, so far back my notes. I'll so they'll be in the description of the video when this live ends. I'm not gonna sit here and just try to scroll through 90 billion notes. But I know best black dog, best buckskin, best brindle, best puppy. I want to say best red, best yard, Shogun's choice. Those are all subclasses. And the Shogun's choice, every single dog in the competition is automatically entered. Eli Monster says, best dog man I ever met would breed a litter mate of a great dog if the structure was better. Hmm. I also know some dog men that would tell you that you bred to a certain dog and would breed you to their sibling and not the dog you asked for. So that's a real thing right there. Solo but connected said, I'm very pleased with the structure and build of my animals. Nice. And Solo, when you enter, man, even the dog in your thumbnail is a good looking black dog, man. I think it's black. It could be sealed, but I think it's a black dog, man. That's a very good looking dog. And that's the kind of stuff I want y'all to see because what's going to happen is it's going to apply pressure to these guys just posting these. I'm gonna say mutts. I see a lot of mutts on social media. The fur is extremely long, tails are really thick. It reminds me there are purebred game dogs with some of those qualities, but they're not all typically on one dog. Maybe the fur is a little bit longer, maybe the tail's a little bit thicker, maybe it's a little underbite, but not typically all together, man. There's a lot of scatter breeding going on, a lot of fuckery going on. Just throw papers on a dog and make some money. Slim Garner says, "Salute, big homie." What's good, big dog? Salute. And then
Salute, salute.
Solo said, I prefer a thick bone, block-headed dog with rat tail, scissor bite, and half prick ears. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Big A, do you have a color pattern or something you prefer?
Color pattern?
Yeah, like just the coat.
Yeah, I mean, like me, as far as just look wise, I've always been a big fan of the brindle and the black, all black. But yeah, I quickly got out of that a while ago. But nah. But as far as if I could have the perfect build and the perfect coat, it would either be brindle or all black, a reverse brindle at that. Hello, can you hear me? Hey, can y'all hear me in the chat? Huh. Okay, I don't know what happened to Dre. It must be
Yeah,
his
my camera died. Can y'all hear me now?
yeah,
Yeah, my camera. I knew that camera was gonna die, man, because I don't have all my stuff from the my furniture stuff hasn't made it here yet. So it's
yeah.
acting stupid. I was even contemplating not going live tonight, but I said I'm gonna scratch into it anyways, man. So we gonna scratch through it. No, we on three legs right now, but we getting it in. We getting it in.
Yeah, man. It seems like every time we go live, I'm at work too. You know, but it is
Hey,
what it is.
that just means you got responsibilities, bro. That just
Oh
means you got
yeah,
responsibilities.
oh yeah. You see all them frogs, bro?
That was frogs.
That's frogs, man. That's frogs, man. There's so many damn frogs out here. I don't know what to do, bro. I don't
Yeah.
mind them too much, man, because the more frogs, the less bugs floating around. But, it is what it is.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know if y'all ever seen y'all dog get on a frog before, but a frog releases a certain chemical, and if a dog bites it, it'll cause them to start foaming at the mouth and everything, man. It's
It could
kind
kill
of
them.
yeah, it's a crazy phenomenon.
Yeah, it could kill them, man. And I got two big ass poisonous frogs that be floating around my house too, man. I can't like I'm gonna have to catch them
Yeah.
because no matter what I do, they keep coming back. I done sprayed it with bleach. I done did all types of stuff, man. You disappear for a couple of days and come back.
Eli said eat them. Now I like frog legs as much as the next man, but they got the old bullfrogs, you know, the old green bullfrogs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Big A, you got the link for the chat.
You
The link,
asking me? You said do I
yeah.
do I have a link?
Are you
Yeah.
able to post the link into the chat? If not, I'll post. Let me see if I can post.
No, I can't. I can't post it.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna post the link into the chat, man, because I've covered what I needed to cover as far as getting there. But there's a lot of y'all who I would like to hear stories from, man, because y'all in the chat. Some of y'all like to be behind the scenes, and that's fine. But the link is in the chat if y'all want to jump in here and kick it with us. Let's just keep it respectful and make sure we're doing everything the Shogun way. I love all y'all to death, man, but I will boot you if you're not if you're not gonna keep it 100% gentleman like in here.
Yes, please. Man, it finally started cooling down here in Texas a little bit, so kind of enjoying that, man.
I'm glad it cooled
It's,
down under for y'all, man. It's still 105 right now, but it's only five. It's only it's 5 minutes till 6 o'clock here where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean it's 100 degrees right now, but I mean it ain't. Man, once it get over that 105, man, it feels different. It's night and day. I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm making it my business to work my dogs in the daytime. I'm not, and
Yeah,
for those y'all, I know about heat stroke and stuff like that with dogs, y'all. When I say work, I'm talking about 2 or 3 minute spurts. We go outside, pee poop, hit the flirt pole, get back inside. You know, wet them down real nice before and after we work them out. But legitimately, I can spray my dogs down, work them for 5 minutes, and they'll be completely dry. I'm also watching their pads. I always put my hands on my hands and feet on the concrete barefoot before I start working them too hard to make sure they're not getting hurt up and everything.
yeah. Shoot, I took Michonne on a 3 mile jog this morning, and we did one yesterday too. You know, it passed pretty good, man. Um, they broke down a bit a couple weeks ago, but that's natural. I was expecting that, and I let it heal. We
Yeah,
did light walks until it kind of like calloused over per se, man. She good to go.
yes, sir.
Yeah,
I can't wait for my bike to get here, man, so I can start doing some more biking with Saki. We have
yeah,
a 6 mile bike trail around my community, man. It's
yeah,
just like zigzags and stuff, but there's no
yeah,
traffic at all, so you can just go. And
yeah,
y'all know I like to get my work in about 4 o'clock in the morning.
yeah.
So stay blessed there. My mail grabs them things, toes, and shakes the shit out of them. I carry a bottle of water with me to rinse his mouth out of me. Yeah, because it'll start foaming and bubbling, man. It looks crazy. You know, it's almost like they rabbit or something, man. And,
Yeah,
Wayne said if they jump in here and they wild and boot
yeah. That's how I go. With the
them.
boot.
Hey, Solo said somebody life just now. Solo said you can't eat toads. Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
And just see y'all tracking horny toads aren't toads. They actually lizards or reptiles, I think. Uh,
Didn't know that. I
yeah,
did not
yeah.
know that.
Yeah, the horny toad with a tail on it, man. They just call it a horny toad, but it's actually a reptile, not an
Okay.
amphibian. I've seen some of them down here already in Arizona. Um,
Yeah. What all have you seen in Arizona so far besides the coyote?
so I've seen coyotes. So I saw you. Did I tell you about the road runners in my neighborhood?
I don't think you said anything about it.
All right. So I was driving home the other day, man. This was like probably like 6 o'clock in the morning, and
Uh-huh.
I saw these birds in the street, and I was like, man, look, I'm tired. I will run y'all over. And they didn't take flight. There's probably like 12 of them in the road. And when I
Yeah.
tell you, they did everything but the meat from the Looney Tunes. This thing's got foot, fam. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's one of those things like jackrabbits. So I would let the dog, if I had room, I would let the dog go and just let him chase it for the exercise because
Yeah.
he is not catching those roadrunners at all.
Yeah.
If he did, he'd have to corner it real good. But I'm pretty sure as fast as they are, they could probably spring a 6 foot wall. And
Yeah.
they're not huge birds.
Yeah. Yeah. These are all frogs, bro. Every
Wow.
last bit of 'em.
You know what? I thought it was like bugs or something, man. They
Nah, these
they could be
frogs.
breeding them out there.
Man, I don't know what happened. I don't know if somebody pranked them or whatever, but they taking over this whole little spot that I gotta pour.
Hey man, the next time y'all go to the never mind, I better not say that online. Uh watch where you order your chicken wings from. That's all I'm gonna say.
Facts. No, that's for real. That's no. That's for real. I'm laughing, but that's you for real though. Yeah, yeah,
Hey Eli, you said Texas got a Niggerino dogs, bro. That is a bloodline I never had my hands on, but the people that have had good ones have nothing but rave reviews on those. Nothing but box turtles. Hey, so I had they got a Solo said he had box turtles. They got a turtle that looks like a box turtle, but it'll bite you. I think it's some kind of snapper. But I had those. I caught those. I caught those in the middle of the street and thought it was a box turtle, and I found out the hard way with that one, Solo. Um, and then he said, "Stay blessed that the frogs are different than them cane toads. Them frogs are better looking. Toads are ugly as fuck." Hey, bro. Hey, look, I'm supposed to be entertaining y'all tonight, man. But y'all live tonight. Also, man, them toes are drier. They have a drier skin. Like I've caught bullfrogs. You know, I shot them with BB guns, and I tried to hit them with slingshot, but I don't have to aim with a slingshot. And I'm about to give me a composite bow. I found me a little cheap composite bow around here. I might start trying to do some archery with as well. But I don't know how that's gonna turn out, y'all, because I just don't know. I don't know if I got the patience to learn a new activity, a new sport. But I'm gonna do it anyways.
Yeah, man.
The junior said, "Get dad to 5,000 subscribers, please. Sub, it will help." Hey, I appreciate that, son. It's bro, I know you hear dad in here cussing, but if I catch you saying these words when we play Fortnite, I'm gonna tear your ass up. Uh, do as I say, not as I do in this situation, son. And a prime example is if I'm driving a car, you don't go grab my keys just because you see me driving a car. Eli said, "Champion lefty lost because of a toe." Eli, can you give a little more detail on that? I'm excited to hear like the backstory on that. And also 601, welcome to the chat, big bro.
What's up with it, bro?
601.
Dude, I can't
Hey,
call it
look.
my fault.
Hey, look, bro. I'm I'm coming, but I'm gonna be late, bro, because we out here, goddamn it, bulldogging a little bit, and then, bro, he just came and blessed me. You know what I'm saying? He put two puppies on me. You know what I'm saying? So,
Hey, let me see the puppies real quick, fam.
you know what I'm saying? We going down through there right now. You hear me? But I love y'all, and then I'm gonna try to goddamn it get in there and bathe, and then come back. You feel me?
Hey, yes,
Yes,
sir, yes,
sir.
sir. Hey, bro, but big shout out to you, man. And while I got you here, bro, I just want to say, man, I love you, bro. I ain't talked to y'all like that this week, man, but it's all love, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Already, man. Already. Much love to the chat, man. And the panel, bro. I'm just out here right now, so
Hey, man, take care of the Bulldogs, bro. We here. Take care of the Bulldogs. Watch out now. Watch out now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, that boy 601 got a yard on him now.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, he walking through there showing us the fire litter he bred, man.
what's up, bro? What's up, man?
Hey, watch when he get about a year and a half and start putting that weight on. Watch how he thicken up.
So he just not came by me little black boy right here.
Okay. Yes, sir.
And then he finna go to the truck to get the female from me now, man. So I'm finna get him situated. Then I'm gonna get in there and bathe, but y'all hold it down until I can slide back through. You hear me?
For sure, man. Hey, salute, big bro.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Already, bro. Already.
100.
All right.
Hey, so stay blessed. We back with y'all, man. So stay blessed that the poisonous secretion from the toads makes the dogs have seizures and shut down their system. Yeah, man. And it's certain ones to do more than that, man.
Okay.
So Texas has I don't know if they're considered poison dart toads or poison dart frogs, but they're vibrantly colored, typically green with black spots or orange with black spots. They will kill you, and some of them are poisonous enough that the touch will make you sick. The touch on your bare skin. So be careful for those ones. And they look just like green tree frogs, but they just got black spots on them. So watch out for that.
It's called a pickerel frog.
It is.
I think that's the name. That's the one that I got on my side of town. Pickerel frog.
Yeah, man. The other thing about frogs that people don't realize is where I see frogs, I see snakes personally.
Yep.
So when I see that it's not. I like the fact that frogs eliminate a lot of the insects on the yard, but they're food for a lot of and feral cats will eat them too. So
Yeah,
for some reason, cats can handle them, but dogs can't. And cats will bring fleas to your yard. So if you're struggling with fleas, it may not be your dog. And I've been seeing this in a lot of chats. If you're struggling with fleas, it may not be your dog. But I harvest. You're not supposed to harvest yard squirrels, but I harvest yard squirrels to stop the yard squirrels from bringing their fleas into my yard. I also make sure I kill any mice or any field rats I see in the backyard. Welcome to the chat, brother JT.
Hey man, what's going on? What's up, Big A? What's up, Samurai, man? I'm sorry about that, bro. Just trying to get situated, man. Just got off, you did. But what's going on, man?
what's happening?
What's good, fam? JT, we chopping it right now because Big A got a frog infestation at the pickup yard for the trucks. And
Yeah.
we talk about kind of some of the stuff that frogs can do to your yard. They attract snakes, they attract feral cats, and they attract other animals that eat frogs. But a lot of those animals carry diseases and pestilence.
Right. Oh yeah, man. From what I've heard, I never, you know what I mean? But man, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And if you've never seen a dog bite a frog or a toad before, the frog and the toad, they release some kind of chemical. One of the brothers said in the chat earlier, but it's a poisonous secretion that makes the dog foam with the mouth and stuff, man. You will see it. I've seen a million with the foam.
Yeah, I done seen them before. Yeah, just you know what I mean. I done seen them. If I can't forget what the stuff that come out of them, but it is like a poisonous. You know what I mean? Like a poison. So yeah, buddy. Yeah.
Hey, you know what's crazy though? Like, you know how, like, I don't know how it is everywhere else, but in Texas, it's a whole bunch of stray dogs running the streets or whatnot. And they always have pups, and pups be running around this bad boy, no shots, no nothing. They just walking around here parvoed up and just surviving like a mug. Then you go, you know, then you go and you go get like a full bred dog, good breeding and everything, man. And that bad boy miss a shot and it's a wrap, man. I don't understand how their immune system is just so, like, I don't know, bulletproof. Because they in all the elements. They in the cold, winter, whatever you call it, they out there, man. You know what I'm saying?
But oh yeah. Yeah, but it's not as bad as it used to be. Like back in the day, you used to see a whole lot. But man.
Yeah, Houston, you got to worry about the stray dogs jumping your dog. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. I done seen that too, bro. Hell yeah. Like you say, mangy dogs, bro. Just
but they surviving, and you be like, how? You know?
What you call that? Fucking damn. What's the damn thing called? I can't even think of the name, bro. But yeah, man, you can back to Samurai, bro.
Yeah, I will tell Big A what he was talking about. You answered your own question about the stray dogs, man. So what happens is with us, we breed for specific traits, but with those traits have nothing to do with evolution wants to happen. And so the stray dogs, like Darwin's law and natural selection, only the healthiest survive anyway.
Yeah.
You know, so they don't care about their
natural color. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, triple star ABPG said Big A 100. Yes, sir.
Tell them I said what to do. Everybody in the chat, I really can't even read the chat because I'm out here working and stuff. So I got my hands full. I'm just talking as I'm going. But shout out to everybody, man. Peace.
Hey, man, big sis in the chat. Shout out to Miss Williams. Salute, sis.
Hey,
thanks to sis, man. She hooked little bro up with an air mattress, man. I've been sleeping on the carpet for 2 or 3 days now, man. My hips is messed up. You know what I'm saying? But she came through with a private super chat earlier today, man, and blessed her little brother, man. And I'm telling you right now, man, my sister, my mom, my dad, man. My dad called me and said, "Hey, Drake, all that pride ain't necessary, son. You can ask for help." But when I left home at 19 for the last time. I left home, live with any of my family members, man, and where I wasn't in charge of the house. And they try to have my back, man, but I'm hard-headed, y'all. I'm real hard-headed, man. Even with y'all in the chat, man, I don't want no handouts, man. And I feel like that's how all of y'all are, all y'all bulldoggers, man. We don't want no handouts. We want to earn it. We want to get out and live. But I want to say thank you to my sister, man. I appreciate you. I love you.
Hey man, salute, sis, salute family. You hear me? Salute everybody, man.
Man,
For
big
Hey,
sure.
ups.
Moon, he said, I got to run, but love y'all. Hey, Ween, salute, big bro. And thank you for all your input tonight, fam. I appreciate you. Solo, what other kind of animals you got, fam? I think you said the box turtles is real tame and everything. Eli putting in there. Man, the chat is jumping tonight,
Hey,
man. I can't even keep up. What's up? Hey, good night to Mom Dukes, man. Mom says, Shalom, son. Mom is turning in. Much love. I love you, Mom. Be safe. And say a prayer for me tonight. I appreciate you. For those that don't know, my mom was a preacher, man. You know what I'm saying? So even with all this cursing and stuff, she still supports her son, man. You know, I look at our relationship kind of like Tupac and the Phoenix. That my mama didn't, you know, my mama, I don't know her to do no drugs, no craziness like that. But you know, I've always been a wayward son, but she's always had my back, man. I love you, Mom. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. Hey, so JT, one of the things we broached earlier, we talked about was the digital dog show and how each samurai, if there's something for some reason there's a tie, and if there's a tie and it goes to the runner, one of the samurai will make the decision on that. Is there anything specifically that you look for in the dogs, man, that can be put up front? JT, you there? Am I here?
Yeah, you here? You here? I'm here with you.
Okay.
He must have. He must
Oh
have
yeah.
gone off.
All right, yeah. But yeah, he muted right now. But in the
Okay.
meantime, Mom said before
Hey
she
man,
said
my
quiet.
fault, bro. My fault, bro.
Yeah,
Man, my fault, bro.
JT,
Damn.
bro.
Now, what was the question, bro?
No, so I was asking ahead of time so that the people in the chat can get the early advantage. Each one of my samurai will be in charge of a different class, and so what's going to happen is if it's a tie or if it's even close, right? Each samurai will be the decision maker. Like if two people got 140 votes apiece to be the winner, then it'll take a samurai to make that call, right? Or GHK going hard will be the host,
Okay.
and so. And so, with that being said, is there anything specifically that you look for, anything that you like in a dog? Because that can help these brothers get the right angles for their dogs to get the best chance of winning if it comes down to a runoff.
Oh man, just basically just in shape, man. Good confirmation, bro. Like, it's something you really can. You can explain it, but when you see it, you see it. You know what I'm saying? Uh, unfortunately on video, they won't have a chance to see that dog like trying to get at another dog like you would like an ADVA. So you know what I'm saying? Seeing
Yeah,
that, that drive and you know what I'm saying, trying to get at something else. But and for the most part, man, through these pictures, man, for me, I just like good confirmation dog, man. Not no dog that's looking starved or you know what I mean? You know how it look when the dog's in great, confirmation sitting on a great keep, you know what I'm saying? You can see the
yeah,
real cage, but it ain't like fucking starving. You know what I mean? I'm just
Yeah.
absolutely.
trying to see some good pictures, bro. You know what I mean? That's it, man. See them
Hey, but
dogs walking.
JT, you made a good point, bro. I didn't say nothing about that.
What was
For
that,
the
man?
context, you said about how you can't face them off. But if you got multiple dogs and you face them off, man, please don't let them touch each other on camera. And if you do, don't send that in. But man,
Yeah.
I like to see a bulldog being a bulldog because, like you said, ADBA show they definitely gonna be snapping. They just not gonna have no contact.
Man, the
Yeah.
motherfucker ABA show be loud as hell, bro. You know,
Yeah, especially when
I,
they
I
go ahead.
yeah, I've been to a couple, you know what I'm saying? Bro, them all be loud as hell, boy. And they trying to get at each other, but that's what you want to see
Yeah,
coming from a bulldog from the APBT. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. But if you like you said, don't let them try to get at each other, bro. Cause that shit will be deleted. You know what I'm saying? We having good, clean fun. You know what I'm saying? Good,
yes,
clean
sir. Yes, sir.
shows, bro. Yes, sir.
But I love a bulldog being a bulldog. This is my favorite breed, not just because of one history, but the whole thing that is American Bull Terrier. The heart, the game, the gameness, the animal aggression. Like I like it all, man. Because most of us are two-legged pit bulls. That's why
Hell
y'all here
yeah.
in the chat right
Right.
now.
How the hell you gonna be? How the hell can you even entertain these dogs when you a chihuahua inside? I ain't talking about the dog. I'm talking about you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, come on now. Like, I love these dogs. Like you just said, bro. I love everything about these dogs. It ain't just one side. It's just no box shit. From wall climbing to weight pulling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man, look, man, we trying to bring it all to our show, man. But make sure you enter some good sound dogs, bro. That's what we want to see, man. For sure.
And
Sure.
I wanted to give y'all the formula too. And I didn't speak on this, but I wanted my brothers to be here first. I started to speak on it. Part of my formula is this. I'm gonna share this secret with y'all, the business strategy behind it. But without giving away too much. I will never create a deal or something that doesn't benefit both parties. I'll never create a liability for the opposite party. So this is what I see for everybody who enters. One, you're going to get your dogs out there just like how Stocky and all the offspring we're putting them out there in the mainstream to be seen in their best light. But two, we're going to get more endorsements from higher level kennels, and you're going to get endorsement from more celebrities because you don't have to ever sell a dog. The goal is to make our dogs so valuable that they can be in movies just like Petey, just like Toto was from the what's that called with Dorothy and Over the Rainbow and all that stuff.
Wizard
Those
of
animals,
Oz.
those animals are under contract, and all you gotta do is own them and have what they're looking for. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of movies in the future that are gonna have the American Pit Bull Terrier in there. And if your dog ain't getting exposed to the right people, it's gonna be on your backyard. It can be a great dog, and that's all it's about is having a great dog. But why not take that great dog and let that great dog make money to help reinforce and build your legacy? Because raising these dogs is not free. Raising these dogs is not free.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and especially in today's time, man, you'll have a documented legacy. You know what I'm saying? You set yourself up there. I mean, it's so many forms of recording, man. I
Yeah.
mean, generations to come, your grandkids will be knowing their grandfather,
All
had
right.
this particular dog, you know.
Right. Yeah.
I give you another example. There's two dogs, and this pedigree I'm about to show y'all in just a second, that I love. These dogs. They are the two producers that I'm gonna go to for the rest of my life, man. No matter what I cross into my stuff, I'm always gonna go back to these two producers as long as they're out there. And both of these dogs, even back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, had videos circulating to them. And it's on VHSs, but the breeders at the time had enough wherewithal to put them on. And I'm about to show y'all those two dogs here. But for those on the chat who might have a guess, go ahead and post in the chat of who you think I'm about to show y'all. But yeah, man. But yeah, man, I was really excited to share this with y'all, man, and to show y'all this. Let me make sure y'all can see it. If you can see it, let me know y'all can see it so I can make sure that it is.
Yeah, it's on the board.
Eli said, please don't say Maygay. Nah, no sir. Hey, nah, y'all. So this right here is Samurai Kendo Saki's pedigree, man. And I'm gonna share the formula with y'all because these dogs are. I'm proud of what I put together so far. And I wanted to share this with y'all, not because I'm trying to sell no dogs, and I wanted to show y'all what my logic was on this. All right. So everybody knows Saki's dad is Cabezon, aka Knucklehead, and Williams Bacardi. And so we're gonna start with the Knuckleheads time, and we'll go into this. So you got MWK's Little Rascal over at Patsy Kennels Blanca that made Knucklehead. Okay. Now those two kennels, a lot of y'all may not know them. I don't personally know MWK, but I personally know Apache. I've seen all these dogs. I had them in my videos. I physically laid hands on these dogs. I've been able to walk them, and I know what they're about. But my buddy here trust him. Now my buddy here went straight to Mr. Joe Woodle to get Blanca. So she's a pure Woodle dog. Now, what you're gonna see right here is look, Woodle, and then all the way back here, that's Joe Woodle stuff, right? And then on top, the NWK went straight to Pitt Island. So this is where the where I start talking about what my dogs are when I tell people. Because people ask, and nobody's gonna know any of this stuff right here until you probably get to Pitt Island blood or Woodle blood on the top side. All right. Now I'm gonna click right here on Scarface Badass, and that's where we're gonna stop at. All right. Now for that Pitt Island blood, what you got is Pitt Island Midnight and Pitt Island Miss Rage. And I'm not really that familiar with Midnight Miss Rage. I just know they were heavily bred dogs, and they go back to the stuff that I am familiar with, and that's in the 4th generation. The weirdo stuff is very, very known. The Little Rascal is very, very known. And what it's going to tell you is this dog right here is going to be a Jeep Rascal dog, but it's heavier on the Rascal than it is on the Jeep. And what I just clicked on, for those y'all didn't see, I clicked on Long's Weirdo to show y'all. Jeep was his dad, bred to his daughter. All right. So that's a Jeep, a heavy, heavy Jeep dog. And even down here, you got the Otis, the Honey Bunch. Now, Honey Bunch is Jeep's mama. So it's a 3/4 Jeep dog, but it's also got even more percentage of Honey Bunch than it does of Jeep right here, because Honey Bunch is even in the out to Otis. All right. So it's a heavy, heavy Jeep dog for Long's Weirdo. Now we're gonna look at Little Rascal. Little Rascal is Jeep on Jeep, bred the same way as that dog you just saw. But then you got Mountain Man's Homer, and you got Honey Bunch over here, Finley's Bow again, which is just Jeep bred, and then Lopassi's Buster and Dubs over here. Now I don't know a lot about Lopassi, so I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I know a lot about Lopassi, but I just know he appears in a lot of the blood that I use. Now I do know that Lopassi dog comes off of Bully Son, which is what I was looking for when I made my bloodline. Bully Son was an animal. He quit or he lost, and then Bully Son was a man biter, and so that's where I stop it right there, because Bully Son goes back to is the direct spin off of Eli. All right, so these dogs are heavy, heavy Jeep, but they got some small outs in there. But that's what the Pitt Island stuff is yielding to the blood. So when I talk about Jeep, we'll go down to Pitt Island's Bonnie, but I'm gonna go to Black Mamba because they got the same daddy. So it's a half brother, half sister breeding to make these dogs right here. And if you look once again, a heavy Long's Weirdo dog with Little Rascal stuff right there. And then once again, even though it's weirdo, you see Little Rascal. Little Rascal is a weirdo dog, and also the daughter that was bred was a weirdo dog. So this is heavy weirdo blood, and that's what that Pitt Island brings. That's a heavy Jeep through that weirdo blood. All right. Now I want to talk about the Joe Woodle blood and talk about the first stud that out of the 2 studs I was telling you about. This is Woodle's bird dog, and that goes back to Weird Jack. I'm skipping over Dink. Dink is in here, but I want to get to the point. Weird Jack is in here. Now, Weird Jack goes back to Crenshaw's Blackjack. And Blackjack is what I'm about to click on next and explain this to you and break it down for you, what I was looking for when I bred these dogs. Blackjack came off of Rodriguez's Gator. All right. Rodriguez's Gator is a son of White's Tab. And I'm gonna click on Tab, and Tab is the first of the 2 studs that I wanted to highlight in my blood. Now, White Tab is a production of Crenshaw's Jeep, which y'all saw is already heavy, heavy bred in the Pitt Island stuff up there, to Marlowe's Tabby Girl. So this is the first generation Jeep Red Boy cross. Marlowe's Tabby Girl is a pure Red Boy female. And she's bred very similarly to the way that Yellow John was bred. We know that Yellow John ended up making a grand champion Yellow. But when I think about a Jeep Rascal cross, a Jeep Red Boy cross, what I think about is this dog right here, White Tab. Now, if you look at White Tab, I don't know if y'all can see that right there, but when you look at White Tab, that influence is, I can see that influence on my dog. I can look at Stocky and see a lot of that influence on my dog. And I'll zoom back out. Can y'all see the zoom in? Big A and JT, can y'all see it? Can y'all hear me?
Oh,
Yeah, I
really?
can hear you. I can hear you.
All
I
right,
can hear you,
cool,
but I
cool.
can't see it.
All right, all right. So,
I can see it.
so now what I'm about to do is I'm about to go off. I'm about to click on cheap because I want to really show y'all how, why these old yellow dogs turn out the way they turn out, looking and acting wise. Because the look is only a piece of it. It's a small piece of the puzzle, but the look is a good indicator of how they're gonna act, even down to the structure, how they carry themselves. So Jeep right here, another dog, very similar to Saki, but he actually looks more like Saki's little-mate brother. Uh, and that dog's name is Walter Reginald. Yeah, I know. Coworker bought him from me, and they named him Walter Reginald. The daughter wanted to name him Walter Reginald.
Yeah.
And then, so now we're gonna show you Honey Bunch. This is Honey Bunch. Man, something starting to look real similar here, huh? For those of y'all that can see it, something's starting to look real similar here. PBK, shout out. Welcome to shout out to PBK. Salute, bro. Welcome to the chat, man. That was a phenomenal live on Saturday night, bro. I appreciate you.
Hey,
Salute.
salute PBK.
Yes, sir.
So
Salute Hurts, man. PBK. Salute, bro.
I wanted to share that with y'all because that Jeep, that Honey Bunch, and that Tab are all in my top side right here. So when I tell you I got a heavy rascal Jeep Red Boy dog, that's what I'm talking about. Is this top side of Saki. Now I want to go to the bottom side, which is Bacardi. And we're going to start with Tricky Sam. I don't know if they got a picture. Yep, Tricky Sam. Boom. All right. So Tricky Sam is off of Pitbull Cities, Hong Kong, and Typhoon. And then after that, it just goes back into Tom Garner stuff with it out to Limestone's Sealy on the bottom side right here. But what I wanted to show y'all was how many generations of this were bred for mouth and ability. They're game dogs, so there's some winners in there too. But what my dogs bring to the table is mouth and ability, and I'll show you why. I'll show you where it comes from and why I picked the dogs I picked. All right. So y'all saw Tricky Sam was a buckskin dog. And then if you look at Acapulco Red, rest in peace. Red was a little sister, or she half sister to Sam. They got the same daddy. Pitbull Cities, Hong Kong, Pitbull Cities, Hong Kong, aka Sunny. All right. And they both were Hong Kong was bred to the outs on both of those, to Typhoon and to Kush. But both of the outs are off of the same kennel. So they took out to the same kennel and then bred half sister brother together to make Bacardi. All right. Now moving back even another generation, Garner's Carmelo. Oh my goodness! Look, another buckskin dog. All right. And then that goes back into Dynamite. And then Dynamite is the controversy. That's what I wanted to talk about on this side. So Dynamite is the controversy here because a lot of people agree that Dynamite was or would say that Dynamite was a. They think that Cottingham got in there. Yeah, that Red Boy is in there. Now let me explain something to y'all about functioning bulldogs and my perspective on this. I was not there. I can't tell you if that's what happened with those Cottingham dogs to make Dynamite. I cannot tell you that. All I know is what's before me and what Dynamite accomplished. That's what I know. And whatever it was, it worked. Whatever it was that made them Dynamite dogs, it worked. And it worked extremely effectively. All right. Now, the next thing about this Dynamite dog that I wanted to say is that after the fact, everything that was produced after it had similar qualities. So no matter what he was, he produced more like himself. All right. And now we're going to move into his father, which is the next dog in his pedigree that I base production off of. And that's Frisco. And PBK, I know you in the chat, and offline, bro. I tease him because my brother PBK, he got nothing but jokes about the Frisco line, but I've heard him say good things about him too. But Frisco, and you did your list on the top Broms of all time. But if you look right here, it says the top Brom of all times, Garner's Frisco. So I didn't say that, but it says right here. It also says that it's been viewed 711,066 times. So somebody's checking for Frisco. I just want y'all to know that out there for all y'all yellow fans. All right. And I believe that I believe what I've heard about Frisco was that Frisco wasn't a cold dog. That Frisco could bite harder than Chinaman. They just didn't match him because they wanted to use him for production. That's what I heard, and I believe that based upon what I've seen from the Frisco line. All right. But anyways, this is the second one of those two studs that I highly encourage that if you're getting into breed, if you find obviously yellow, like Eli Moss said, Mayday. Uh, but for me, it's gonna be Jeep and Frisco, or if I see those in a bloodline heavily influenced, I'm typically gonna rock with that bloodline because I've had good no matter where I got it from, I got good results. It didn't matter who the breeder was, and I've gotten it from 4 or 5 different breeders that got me very similar results, and even down to the point where I was able to base how my dog Taki was going to act and if he would be man aggressive enough to be protection or not. So I just wanted to share that with y'all, man. That's my formula right there, and show y'all this dog right here too as well. Garner's Mingos Max Spike. So that little arrow on the tail for my dogs. I don't know if y'all can see it, but that little arrow on the tail for my dogs, I'm pretty sure that comes from the spike blood in there. And every puppy in litter has that little black marking on the tail, no matter what color they are. All right, red buckskin, red nose buckskin, or buckskin black mask, and then that goes back to Garner Santos, which is another dog that has that look that I like. Santos got some legs underneath him, man, and I really like that. But it goes back to Garner's Grand Champion Spike, which is what I wanted to share with y'all as well, man. A lot of people, when I tell them I got the hey, Eli said, nigga, he looked like a, excuse me, he said Dynamite looks like a niggerino dog. He very well could be. But like I said, hey, Solo said, ain't no telling what he doing on Bulldog Hill. That's facts, man. But I wanted to share that with y'all because it all ties back into, I don't know what these old school dog men did. All I know is what I've seen with my own eyes, what I like. And a good dog is where you find it. So I don't really care what the pedigree said before it gets to the people that I know personally. Apache, OBS, Pitbull City. If it happened before them, I can't vouch for it, or nor will I try to vouch for it. I just wanted to be known that this is the formula. This is the formula for what I like to use. All right. And yeah, man, there's a lot, because I know for a fact that Earl Tudor was he would put two good dogs together and he didn't care if the papers was right or not. You know what I'm saying? But you can't take that away that he was breeding good dogs, man. And so I'm gonna leave this up for y'all for just a second so y'all can see that for yourself. But it's also on my website. All my dogs' pedigrees are on my website, and they're verified, or they're based upon my ADBA paperwork. All right, y'all. So now I'm done. Now I'm done tooting my own horn and being a self-licking lollipop, and we'll get back to the chat. So JT, Big A, that's y'all kind of seen the formula and see my perspective on what I was kind of basing my breeding off of. If y'all was moving forward and y'all had to do it out, what would y'all out to?
Miguel, you want to get down, bro?
Man, I don't know. You know, I still have to. Because me, man, I say I want to go one direction, and then 6 months later, I'm looking at a whole nother direction. I couldn't tell you, bro. I honestly couldn't tell you.
Oh yeah, that's why I kind of pass though. It's the same here, bro. So many good dogs out there, bro. So
Yeah,
many, yeah, man. So many good looking dogs out there, bro.
because I
Man.
have my mindset to go this direction, and then I see something, or I get educated on something, or something to come my way that change the way the wind blowing. You know.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. I mean, man. I say about three good lines I can just name that I would. I mean, some of the Epiness shit. They got some nice dogs over there, man. Man, some of that ball shit too. We loving them balls, all them balls, all looking good with that bolio balls. Eli bolio balls, dog. Them dogs looking good. Oh, shit.
And then I really wouldn't be trying to have a solid decision until I know exactly what I have. Until
Right.
my dog is 100% grown, so I know exactly you
Yeah.
know what I
18
really
months,
have missed. Yeah, cause
2 years old.
yeah, cause I mean like I could be leaning towards this, and you know, I mean, yeah,
And it don't go right, you know what I'm saying? But
yep.
salute to everybody, man. They got a lot of nice dogs out there, bro. It's really kind of hard to choose from, man. Real, real talk.
What about you, Dre?
Hey, so first off, salute to Mike Dan, man. Mike Dan came in with the big stuff. He said, same when I talked to Bill, he bred both Chinaman and Frisco. Hey, we'll do, sir, we'll do. Also, shout out to Brother Rose and Solo said one of my dogs has a lot of Frisco. Okay. Mike Dan also said Frisco was a bulldog. But let me answer y'all a question, bro. So to be honest with you, um, moving forward, any outing that I do, it would have to be based upon the specimen. I don't care how it's bred right as of right now because it would be back and forth. So it would be into our stuff and then inbred on the best of the best, and then back to that same thing over and over again. You know, to make the genes homogenous. You know, between our stock and another stock, and
Right.
and that's only because I'm looking for some kind of control of the gene pool. You know, best to best, best to best, man. But yeah, like I said, it's and then Eli, bro. Hey Eli, first of all, Eli, I look at you as a mentor. If anybody in the chat got anything to say, Eli reaches out to me all the time, man. Eli's a mentor of mine, man. And Eli, it's all love, bro. Just so you know, straight from me to you. Uh, Brother Rose, shout out to Brother Rose. And then Bottom Boy Kennel says, Dynamite Dog, Frisco across ham. Hey, yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mike Dan said, don't get caught up in the internet hype. Eli. So believe it or not, y'all, I accept access to a pure Boudreaux bred male whenever I want to. And that's another thing I was looking at was going back into dogs that are already in my pedigree. But the Boudreaux stuff is really far back there because it's coming down, Eli Jr. or Bully Son typically. And then it's kind of like I ain't gonna say washed out because it's still great dogs, but it's not like no pure Boudreaux's ham or Bows or anything like that, man. And I really like to breed to a Maverick dog too. Uh, let me double back on myself. If I can find a heavy Maverick dog, one of y'all got a heavy Maverick dog, that's top of my list because I've already seen that cross and I've seen it work.
Yes, sir. And it'll be also good too. It's like a good out, you know what I'm saying? Like a breath of fresh air, you know what I'm saying? So too much tight shit, man, it'll be almost like detrimental. I was watching PBK and them last little show. I ain't gonna say too much scatterbreed, but man, some of them dogs is just too tight. It's too. I don't know. It just make it just can't find a word. But yeah, hello.
Yeah, I'm here, bro. Can you hear me?
Yeah, y'all can hear you. But yeah, it's just too tight, man. Just make it almost. They start losing traits. You know what I'm saying? Just like different. Man, my fault. I'm up here trying to do two things at once. But
You good, fam? You good?
yeah,
Hey, and I'm glad you brought up the Epinetti when you said it, bro, because that blood, man, I've always followed that blood. That blood is phenomenal. I'm gonna show y'all. Excuse me. I'm gonna show y'all the blood I'm talking about, or the pedigree I'm talking about right here.
yeah,
This is
I can
this is
see
an
it
Epinetti
now.
dog. All right, so if you look, you got Chinaman, Earl. Like this would go great with my stuff, man. And honestly, shout out to my brother M1. M1 has been out of pocket for a little bit, but shout out to my big bro M1. M1 actually had mentioned this to me a long time ago, man. Also, shout out to my brother Soul, who's on the road, man. For all my samurai who is busy, they working right now. They grinding, but I love my brothers, man. Shout out to all my brothers. But yeah, man, this is this stuff will go really good, man. Really, really good. And then you got that Spider-Man bite him to that Chinaman, man. This definitely
Oh
knew what he
yeah,
was doing. He knew what he was doing. And this is
sex real
this
few.
is it's pressure, POR. Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, that's a
Uh,
good pedigree right there. Just looking at it, it's a good pedigree.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And then there's that Satan dog. I don't know much about the Satan dog, but I've heard in the game dog chat they talk about the Satan dog. I don't know if it's the same one. Uh, but hey, it's that's a fire setup right there. That's a solid setup. I have I see that being a very effective bred dog.
yes, sir.
Hey, Solo said Mayday was one of the best big dogs ever. So okay, Solo, let me ask y'all this. So y'all don't think I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Frodo was another great dog like that.
Oh
Uh,
man, that's my dog. That's Crota.
yeah,
Hey man, that dog, that's nice, bro.
yeah. I think he gets overlooked and slept on a lot too, man.
Oh yeah.
Solo said Eli out. I would if I do an Eli out, I wanted to come from a kennel. I want to see Eli maybe in the fifth or sixth generation and just heavily bred Eli dogs, but I want something that's working up close, Solo. Because I do believe in the history of these dogs, man, and I trust the man to be a man. So if a man says he got an Eli dog and it looks and acts like an Eli dog, that's all he can give me. He can't give me perfection. I have to make it work. You know what I'm saying? So
That's
but
right.
yeah, man. And I trust my brother Eli Monster because he's already put me on game about a lot of stuff. Man. Y'all need to highlight my brother Eli Monster. Then he said Cottingham dogs are awesome, but most are man biters and need to be crossed. And that scares me because the red boy man biters aren't like the Eli man biters. Some of the red boy man biters will get off the chain and will chase you down the road. Whereas a lot of my Eli man biters is if you come in a chain spot, you startle them or you get them excited that you get bit. And that's one of the things I did want to talk about. My red boy Jocko female, like in the morning, for the first 30 minutes, I'm the only one that could feed her, and she stayed on my on Apache kennel jar, and he said he would have to wait for her to calm down in the morning before he could feed her because she was just so man aggressive, and that's a man biter right there versus a dog that can bite a man. She was super aggressive, and I don't feel like she's safe even around other dog men.
That's crazy. Well, I never had that problem. Oh, you want to talk about it, but boy, man, look at I break this shit up real quick.
So Solo said, got to have some Eli in my program. Yeah, man. So and that's the thing, Solo, with my stuff, G, Honey Bunch, although everybody knows those are derivatives of they became their own lines, but all of them go back to Eli at some point. All of them. So yes, I completely agree. I completely agree. And Eli said he agreed too. And he said, I'm using ethnic Raging Cajun as the out to my Red Boy Jocko Bolio Tombstone. Hey, so I got a Red Boy Jocko Bolio Tombstone dog named Hendrix. He's not in my yard. He's with a partner of mine in Louisiana. He's farmed out right now, but he's bred up pretty good too. He's Saki's first cousin. Their parents were siblings. Let me see if I can pull that up for you. In the meantime, though, yeah, man, Hendrix and Saki, I had to separate them, y'all. They hit a certain age, man, and they had a yard accident, so I had to get them. I had to break them up a little bit. They was doing too much. Yeah, they was doing too much, and I didn't want to lose either one of them, so I farmed them out to a friend of mine, and he said Hendrix is doing very well. He's acting very good, so I'm pleased.
You gotta go check that up on this Raging Cajun. That
Yeah, for sure.
man, I've been looking at that up in this champion boogeyman. That boogeyman be acting nice as hell.
So let me go ahead and put this up for y'all real quick and get this rocking right here. This is gonna be the Hendrix pig.
Hey, what's more if you had both of these on your yard, what would be more important to you? If you had a grand champion and you had the producer of that grand champion.
The producer.
The producer?
Producer, any question?
If
Hey,
if huh?
go ahead, big bro.
Okay, so you got a chance to go to their yard and make to either the producer or the grand champ. Who you gonna make to?
See, now you playing. All right, so
It's just a question. Yeah, I'm asking for a friend. You know what I'm saying? Nah.
okay, okay. What? Oh, you answer that question, Big A.
Okay. Me personally, if I have an option to go to their yard, I'm not going to make it a choice between the two, depending on what if it if it's a bitch or a male or a stud, or if it's both, then if I can take one to each one and bring them both back to my yard, bring something for both of them back to my yard. That's just me personally. And then, that's what I would like to do versus just trying to take it to one. I try to get something to go to both of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, the High Key Lee said, unless the grand champion produced the grand champion. Now Yellow Mayday, Barracuda, you know what I'm saying? Like that is a rarity, you know what I'm saying? And that's why it was so big
Yeah.
of a thing, So I'm sorry, but I'm going to the producer, and I'll tell you why. I'm young, but I'm a traditionalist.
Yes,
And
sir.
they asked Mr. Floyd Boudreaux, they said, you selling dogs, you're selling dogs, and even like Eli dogs, you're letting them go. Why would you let them go? And he told the public, he said, I got one baby. I can just make more of them. That's how
Mm-hmm.
confident he was in his dog's production ability.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where my ideology comes from. And like 90% of the time when I tell y'all something, man, I got a reference for why I'm picking it. I'm going with, like I said, the name of this episode is The Formula. I'm going with formulas that I knew that worked.
Right.
I'll give you another formula that works. If you're going to sell dogs, you need to sell them with a guarantee. And that's what, can y'all see my screen right now, the pedigree I got up?
No, I can't see it. I'm just
All right.
listening along.
All right. So this is Hendrick's pedigree. Now it's off of he's off a one-time loser male, so bred to a one-time winner. Now mind you that the L came after the breeding. They counted on it, but this is a pure Walkamaw dog, and this is a Apache Kennel MWK cross. And so but yeah, so everybody knows them pure walk dogs up top. That's just Red Boy Jocko. And I mean, I'll go back and show y'all a couple of them so y'all can see it for those of y'all who don't know. But this is just Jocko 3, bred down heavy. It's heavy Jocko, and then obviously Red Boy's right here in the pedigree with Yellow John and everything. All right, and I'm gonna just click on these dogs real quick. Go to Cyclone 2, same thing. Yellow John, which is a pure Red Boy son, bred to a Jocko female to make champion yellow. All right, even Waccamaw Saber, I think it's funny. PBK be still in the chat. PBK is honoring those dogs, and that's what a lot of people did back in the day. You would see a dog's name and know kind of how it was bred because it would honor things. You got Weird Jack, Weirdo, and you got Black Jack. All those things have similarities, and they're in the same line of dogs. But here you got Yellow John. You got Yellow, who came off of Yellow John, and then obviously they put Big John on there, or bred yellow to Saber to make Big John. So you keeping the big in there or the John in there from the grandfather. And that was a common thing done back in the past, man, just to pay homage to those dogs and stuff, man. I think it's really cool. But staying traditional, man, and attacking my brother Big A one last time is I definitely would go with that producer, bro. And that's why, personally.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. JT.
JT got kicked, but he'll be back, man.
Okay.
Yeah, he got kicked, but he'll be back.
Yeah, man. Because I've heard boys argue back and forth, go back and forth about the whole situation. All right, man. Me personally, I try to get something off of both.
And you kind of put me in a corner because like I just told you the two dogs I picked to base my pedigree off of, neither one of them were known great match dogs.
Yeah.
Tab nor Frisco.
Yeah.
they're known as producers of their fathers. And what I like about them is both of them are very similarly. They're not bred the same way, but the same concept was used, the same formula.
Right.
Frisco is a Chinaman dog bred to a dog with a heavily Bolio influence. So you're looking at a Eli Carver on top of a Bolio dog. And then Tab obviously was a Jeep, which is a Bully Son or Honey Bunch dog, however you want to say it, prior to Jeep making his own name, bred to a Red Boy dog. You know, and in my opinion, the Jeep Red Boy cross was the answer to the Red Boy Jocko cross. And after dealing with both of them, I think the Jeep Red Boy Rascal cross is just as potent as the Red Boy Jocko cross. And I don't care what nobody says about that.
All right. So speaking of um producers, um you and I've had this discussion on multiple occasions about how many dogs we would have as far as our perfect number. And I'm five or less. And I know you're five, five dogs. You kind of cut the line there. Now, um, you would want to keep out of those five dogs, you would only want to keep producers, right? If you if you if you could, you had proven producers.
So I would say no, man.
Okay.
But I'll give you why, because everything I'm saying is contradicting itself. But I have I'll give y'all the why, and that makes sense to you. Okay, so once I have a producer that can reproduce itself consistently, now
Mhm.
what I want to feed into that producer is performance.
Right.
Okay, I know the producer is the baseline. All right, that's
Okay.
my. Y'all remember them cars that came out a couple years ago, man? The Scions, or even you
Yep.
go with old school muscle
And you had
car.
a yeah.
You could
Go ahead.
retrofit anything to it because you know the baseline is going to be this.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Now
Yep.
everything else to me is the bolt-on part. All right, so
Yep.
this dog can produce a baseline dog with adequate mouth and adequate ability. But now I need it finished, or I need something, size, density, durability, something I'm
Yeah.
missing. Now I'm going to the best dog that can do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I was explaining something like that to somebody earlier today about Red Boy Jocko. I was like, today that's kind of like your standard super sport. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? It does, you gotta add your supercharger to it. You gotta add your suspension and all to it. But that's your base right there. If you want to start from scratch, that's a good base to start at, you know. Yeah.
yeah, man. Hey, Rose, I appreciate you, man. Eli, I appreciate you too, fam. Hey, y'all, we're approaching that 2 hour mark, and I hate to cut it off so fast with y'all tonight, but I kind of got my time zone messed up with y'all, so we're gonna shut this thing down here at the 7 o'clock hour. Uh, so I'm showing that I'm 7 minutes out from 7 o'clock, so I'm gonna start saying my parting goodbyes, man. And also, the brother JT had to run an errand; he had to take somebody to the hospital, y'all. So my prayers with my
Ooh,
brother JT. So I got to get off here and check on him too, man. Big A, if you
yeah.
will stay in the back chat, man, we'll holler at you, bro. But
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
y'all. I do want to get some shout outs here toward the end of the show. And also, man, to say that when August 1st hits, y'all, we will be 2 weeks out from our second official digital dog show. For those of you who are listening, man, this is a big thing for me because this is the new wave. And I'll explain that too real quick, and then we're going to give our shout out. What I look at is uh, people told me I was crazy when I started trying to do bite work with the dogs, right? Then they said I was crazy for doing a digital dog show. Then they said I was crazy for having a team instead of just trying to do it by myself like everybody else does. And I want to tell y'all my ideology on that because it makes sense to me. All right. In 1906, the first combustion engine was done here by Ford. I want to say it's called a Ford Model 1, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm messing this up, please just understand that this really happened, but the year and the actual name of the model might be different, but it actually happened this way. All right. Now, prior to that Ford Model 1 coming out, there was the horse and wagon, or the horse, or the mule, or whatever you had to pull the wagon around. And Mr. Ford, I want to say it was Gerald Ford, said he said, I'm gonna create a wagon that don't need no horses. And can you imagine what it was like in 1905, the year prior to this, the Ford Model 1 coming out? In 1905, the people was like, is you high? You know, like they were like, are you high? What kind of
And
wagon?
and I know they had to think that he was crazy because Ford didn't have an education for real at all. He had like I think it was like an elementary education.
Yeah, I want to say it was a fourth grade or fifth grade education, man.
Yeah.
Mind you, across the world, the Germans had already done this. I forget the name, I forget the guy's name, but it was the first BMW was already done. So I don't know if Ford had heard word of the first combustion engine over there, but what ended up happening is that he invented this Model 1. And at first it could barely keep up with the horse and buggy, but you flash forward to the 60s, and now some of them same people, they're older now, they're senior citizens, some of them same people who laughed at him and said he was crazy is driving with his name on the side of they horseless wagons that they talking about. And so when I look at change, I look at where I see us going. And with the digital age happening, yes, I still want to go into live shows. But in between there, connect with y'all just like we do here every Wednesday night. I have to have a forum where we can do that. And it can't just always be me sitting here talking out the side of my neck. Sometimes we got to have that put up or shut up. And it would be nice after these digital dog shows are being had for y'all to just say, hey, man, like the box is always the truth teller. I'll never say the box is not the truth teller. The box is truth serum. But while we're not in the box, there's still other things that you can do just to have fun. And if you're not having fun, why are you doing it? So in a year from now, that it won't be that Ford Model 1, but we'll be on our actually it's less than a year now. We're 6 months out from it, or 7 months out from right now, from our first annual, which means that we did it one time and now we're doing it again at the year mark. And all of y'all who participated or who failed to participate in the early months, y'all gonna be them same brothers that's riding them horses and buggies by them Ford Model 1s that's driving past you. Or they don't need water. You gotta start water your horses.
And by the time y'all catch up, we already linked up with the Wright brothers, getting ready to put the wings on, start flying.
But yeah, y'all, man, it has been my distinct pleasure to rap with y'all brothers tonight. I appreciate all y'all who came through, showed love. For those of y'all who gave the super chats out, man, I want to give a special thanks to my brother Solo. Man, that was big, man. Y'all came through in the clutch, and y'all keep the channel going. Y'all also are the ones who are having fun the way. Also to my brother Ween Moon, y'all having fun the way for the future. And I genuinely thank y'all, man. I'm gonna shut it down now, brother Big A. If you will, hang by in the back chat. But the rest of y'all, man, be blessed, stay safe, scratch into the rest of the week, and I'll see y'all tomorrow with the Elevated Kennels interview, and on Sunday for the weekly wrap up. It's been a blessed one. Thank you so much.
Peace.